Good morning, happy Tuesday. So we're leaving really late today. I have morning duty. I don't think I'm going to make it exactly when I'm supposed to be there because Caitlin's not even in the car yet. The car's on, the garage door's up, we're ready to go. Well, I'm ready to go. So I will see you at school. All right, solving the mystery. Hey, how you doing?
Not all of them. Some of these like this, these don't have like.
Ah, yeah. Some of you don't have to regroup the whole thing, do you?
Told you.
That's good. Do you have to regroup the tens place? Look at that.
No.
Yep. If it's more on the floor, you got to regroup and take 10 more. How you doing, sis? Good. All right. All right. How you doing, detective? Good morning again. Happy Tuesday again. My breakfast just beeped, so it is finally ready. It is a little after 9 and I had a surprise IEP meeting. I went, oh, okay, great. That's hard on the first day back from my break because that's usually when I do all my copying because I have my plan time right off the bat. As long as I have my power hour math intervention things ready, I've got everything ready for that morning. Then I can get the rest of the stuff ready after the kids go to special class. So my kids are in art right now. And the IEP meeting wasn't very long because the person didn't show up. So we just talked about any changes and then I'm going to get a copy and we just talked about some things we could do and that was it. So I was able to make some copies before the meeting and I made some after the meeting and I still have some more to make, but that's okay because I'm ahead already for today. I thought I'd show you my outfit and then I'm going to eat my breakfast and get to work because I want to get some things going. So I'm wearing a sweatshirt, kind of a nicer one, some leggings and little booties. I have a headband on from Amazon. I have this ring from Old Navy. These are my new nails. Aren't they pretty? Yeah, I thought they were wintry looking. These are the Kiss Impress nails. Yep. And this beautiful new watch is a Yode watch. And there'll be more on that later because there'll be a contest that you can enter to win a $100 gift certificate. So you can get one if you want to as well. So stay tuned for that coming up in the next few days. Let me back up so you can see what I've got on and I'm gonna scoot and get back to work. We had yesterday off, as you know, for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Not everybody does have that off. We didn't always used to, but now it's like in stone that we have it off. Let me show you my sweatshirt. I needed a hug and a mug today. And here are my pants. All right, let's come over here. I have copied those Phonics spinner games front and back because I'll put them in a sleeve and then the kiddos that need the sneaky E long vowel practice will work on one side and the ones that need the digraph practice will work on the other side. So you just use a paperclip spinner and whatever symbol they spin, that's the list that they read from. I'm going to have them read it twice each time and then they'll have their partner spin. So it'll be a little partner game. I had forgotten that I accidentally took home my pot holder last week because I took my breakfast with me to the big meeting that we had all day Friday. So I didn't really see my kids except for when I came up to the room because I forgot something twice. Forgot my data and I forgot my computer because I laid it back here when I was getting something and I forgot to grab it. What a ding dong. I took everything else with me though. Oh my gosh, what a goof. All right, today we're going to be writing what dreams the kids have for our world, something they can do to change it, make it better. After we learn about what Martin Luther King Jr. stood for and why he is no longer with us. So I think that's important. A lot of times I do an activity with the book The Sneetches and I'll put stars on some of the students. Those have stars upon theirs, the other have none upon theirs. And I let the star belly Sneetches students go first and do things like, and I'll give them a piece of candy and I'll let them sit in front and I just kind of favor them so they can see kind of what it was like if you weren't the favored race back then. And even now to a point. So I love the hearts of children because they don't get it. they're like, well, why would you be that way? And I'm like, good question. Why are people like that? They learned it somewhere. So because if you put a room full of younger children in a room, they don't care what they look like. They just make friends. Isn't that how all of us should be, really? Yeah. Today, I was a little bit late getting here, as I mentioned in the car, because neither Caitlin nor I moved very quickly today. So I need to get up earlier tomorrow. I definitely need to get moving quicker tomorrow. Yeah. All right, I'm going to get to work because I have some more things to copy and prepare. So today for math, we are doing horizontal subtraction. We're rewriting the vertical subtraction into, no, we're rewriting horizontal subtraction problems into vertical. And I've already talked about that because I can't do it horizontally. That's just too much for me to think about. And so I've shown them to already do that in other things. And in Power Hour, I showed you a little bit of that where they got to be subtraction detectives and solve the riddle. So the question was, what two things can you not have for breakfast? And the answer, of course, was lunch and dinner. And those were freebies. So I will link them below for you. They have regrouping on them, but sometimes it wasn't in the ones place. And so I told the kids, oh, all of these have regrouping. And then they got to some of them, they went, this one doesn't have regrouping. I said, oh, wait, does it have regrouping in the tens place? And they're like, what? I said, is there more on the floor or more on the top? They're like, there's more on the floor. I'm like, oh, so what does it mean? You have to go next door and knock on the door? Mm-hmm. How do we do that? The same way you did it before. You just don't have to do the one on the other side. And they're like, oh, that was weird for them. Really, really weird. And I don't know on this one. No, we did not get to a 0 in the hundreds place. We will do that tomorrow, I think. I think there'll be some problems where they don't have a hundreds place because they need to know what to do if it equals 0. I've talked about that when we've done double digits. I've said, you know, if it says you have this many puppies, can you have 9 puppies? Or will you just say you have 9 puppies? And they're like, 9 puppies. We don't say that. I'm like, exactly. So you don't write it either. If it comes before that, you don't write it. If it comes after the number, then you write it, of course. So that's a little weird for them because we always teach them to write everything down, right? But they have to think about logically. Would I say 9 puppies? No, I would not. All right. On that note, I'm going to go and get some things together. Hello, it is recess time. I just got my kids taken to recess, picked them up from lunch, took them to recess. They did really well with their dream writing. Some of them wrote more than others because, you know, some kids, it's like pulling teeth to get them to write anything. I did remind them that it needed to be in sentences with capitals and end marks. We'll see if they remembered. But we read 3, I think, 3 different Martin Luther King nonfiction texts. 2 were online. And 1 was the Happy Birthday Martin Luther King Jr. book that I got from Scholastic or something a long time ago. And they were very interested. Some of the information was the same. Obviously, he was born and he died. That was going to be the same information in all 3. But we did find different details in each text, which was cool. So this afternoon, I'm going to do the Scholastic News that goes along with his story. And it's the granddaughter of him that's featured in it. I'm getting some plans made for next week because we're going to have a snow day at school. And it's funny, I was going to do it on Monday and maybe we'll have a real snow day because there's snow in the forecast. Of course, that's a whole week away, so things change. But I thought that I would send this note for the parents so they would know what we're doing. I don't think I'll send it right now though because I should have a note that says what we need. I am looking on my flash drive for the information and I'm not finding it, so it's on here somewhere. I just have so much stuff, it's crazy. Oh, there's another January file. There are like 3 January files on this thing, so I'm sure I will find it. The good thing is I don't have to have it right now, so just thought I'd start looking because I want to give the parents a little heads up because there are some items I would like them to send in if they're able to, like cocoa and things like that. I think I'm going to do the hot chocolate with the chocolate milk this time because it's so much easier. Just pour it in there and heat it up. So thank you, Jeremy Michelbook, for reminding me how awesome that is and how good it tastes. So I'm just going to need like chocolate milk and marshmallows and maybe some little miniature chocolate chips and a couple other little things to mix in, like whipped cream and stuff, so we can have a little hot cocoa bar. Maybe I'll use some of my decorations from the Target dollar spot to make a little cocoa area in our classroom. That would be fun. Maybe I can do that. I could set it up over at our listening station because it already has plugs over there. That might be good. Of course, I'll put a different tablecloth over it so it will protect everything. Get a plastic one. All right, I am going to get a little bit done because I have to pick the kids up in like 8 minutes. It goes really fast. Alrighty, our day's just cooking along. Like I said, when they get back from recess, we will watch the Scholastic News video that goes with the Martin Luther King story, and we'll do this page. And this is getting information about the video. What is the video mostly about? So it's like main idea. What is one thing in the video that you found interesting? What is something you still want to know that you didn't learn from the video, which is cool. Then we have a word work page that we can do together, and it's vocabulary. So we've got segregation and inspired. I've got this little research book that we're going to use tomorrow to start picking facts out of the nonfiction texts that we've read, so we can write our first informational text of the winter. Then I have a vocabulary quiz that will work as a context clues thing too that we've been working on. So if they're not sure what it means, they can use the sentence context to figure it out. So that will all tie together. That's my plan. So I might be able to film a little bit of the Scholastic News as we do it. There's not really a game per se. There's like a writing activity, but we've already done one. I've had the kids write down a dream that they would have to change the world, something they would like to change about the world, make it better. So most of them are finished with that. They colored the picture that was on there and made sure their name was on it, and then it was done. So I'll post those somewhere because I think they're important. Okay, I'm going to go and get some things done, and I'll try to check back in with you at the end of the day. Hello, as you can see, I am at home. So I ran around after school and I was sharpening the kids' pencils in their pencil pouches because I did not collect them on Friday since I wasn't there and had no time to do it anyway. And I had forgotten to do it on Thursday, which is the new day I'm going to do it. And we didn't have school yesterday. So I'm like, hey, leave your pencil pouches on the table before you leave. Well, there are 9 students that did not listen. So I guess I will have them bring them to me in the morning before they go to power hour so that I can take care of them during my plan time so they will have fresh pencils for math tomorrow. So we didn't get a chance to really work on the Scholastic News that much. We read the article, but we didn't get to answer any of the questions because the video that we watched took a while and we discussed it and we filled out the paper that went with that to ask the questions and answer them. And then there was something else that we did. Maybe we just read the article, I think, but there wasn't really time to do anything with it. We did do the questions on the back of it where it was an interview with Martin Luther King's granddaughter, and they had to, it was using like text evidence to answer questions. So I showed a snippet of that. We had to click the sentence that gave the answer to the question. So I'm going to start having them underline the sentence where they found the information. Yep. That goes right along with those text evidence passages that I got from Miss DeCarbo that I've been doing in reading groups. So they're kind of used to that. So it should be really good. In reading groups, I used those, I don't know what you call them, Fluency spinner games that I mentioned. I've got Long E and I've got digraphs, and the kids really liked them. So my higher group, of course, they just breezed through them. But some of them were on my phonics screener for having low phonics skills. So they will be working on things, even though they think they're kind of silly. But obviously they need some help in some areas that I didn't realize. So we'll be working on those every day. And we got an email today from the AP saying that we're going to be meeting with our literacy consultant on Tuesday of next week, and we're supposed to have some data to put into the meeting. And I'm like, oh, really? Okay. So we're supposed to choose 2 people from one reading group. So 2 people from the same reading group, give them a personal goal or come up with a personal goal with them and track their progress through the week, and then mark it on this data page and then turn it into our our, what do you call her, instructional coach on Friday or by Friday. So I'm using the Fluency spinners because I have a couple of students that have trouble with digraphs. And so we worked on that today. So that's going to be perfect. And they're in the same group. Yay. So I chose those two kiddos. So I said, your goal this week is going to be getting very fluent on these 3 lists with these digraphs. So that means not stumbling over them. You can read them very quickly, just boom, 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 no problem at all. And we will practice every day so you have a chance to get better. I had them read each list 3 times on their turn. So they read 9 times. So that's a good practice, I think. So they took turns. One would spin whatever list they got, they'd read that list 3 times. Then the next one would spin, they'd read their list 3 times. Well, eventually, I'm like, well, just read the list you haven't read. Because I wanted them to read all 3 lists. And if they kept spinning the same one, I'm like, spin again. Spin again until you get a different list. So that could take forever. But that's what my goal is, for them to read each list, 3 times. So that's going to be good. I think there are like, 8 words on a list probably. So I think that's doable. It went very quickly. I mean, it was like less than 5 minutes to do it, really. So I met with two groups today, I think. 3 groups. I met with 3 groups today. Yay, which was good. That was my goal. 3 groups a day. And I have 4. So, because one group I try to meet with every day, those are my super low readers that go to reading with the reading teacher. I try to meet with them every single day because they are very below grade level. Like they're at low 1st grade level even. Like they're not even on grade level for 1st grade of this part of the year. So trying to read with them every day. And then I read with my next one level up from them twice a week. Well, everybody else twice a week. And then my high group, I meet with them longer on one day, but then shorter on the other day. So it averages out to the right amount of time per group. But I like to be able to get into deeper stuff with my higher group. So I need to keep them longer, at least one time. Otherwise, it seems very disjointed and I can't continue whatever we're doing because it just gets cut off. We will be having leftovers for supper tonight because I have 1 whole steak left over from last night's meal. And I only ate half of my steak and half of my potatoes. So I saved mine in a little container in the fridge. Of course, Caitlin won't eat the steak, but I have some pasta left over that I had taken for lunch for school on Friday. And then I didn't eat it because we got pizza. So I brought it home today so she can eat that if she wants to and have potatoes and green beans. And my husband can have the other piece of steak that's left over and potatoes and green beans. And then tomorrow I'll cook again, which I have a staff meeting tomorrow. So I will be getting home later. But I think I'll do an easy, like 1 pan meal probably, because those are so good. And you can just throw them on a cookie sheet, on a parchment paper, or on a piece of aluminum foil, and bake it, and you're done. So I'm going to do like chicken and veggies. That's real easy. So just like, I have fingerling potatoes. I have little baby Yukon Golds. And I think I even have some mixed little potatoes. So all of those are really, really good. You just kind of wash them off, throw them on the pan. You can cut them in half if you want to. Salt and pepper them, put a little olive oil, put your chicken on there seasoned, and just bake it all together. It's really good. Then you just scoop it up. It's almost like stew without the broth. It's very nice. Or I could do something in the crock pot. Not sure what I'm going to do. You'll find out tomorrow, just like me. I know right now I'm not going to want to come home after the meeting like at 5:30 and start something. So I need something that's very easy to put together or something that's already done cooking. I need to place my Scholastic order because I forgot to get the code for it on Friday because I wasn't in my classroom. I didn't think about it when we were writing curriculum all day long. And of course, I couldn't do it yesterday because we didn't have school. So I did ask over the weekend. I emailed the secretary and said, can I please have a Scholastic PO code? So she did send it to me today and I didn't have time to put it in, but I will do that tonight. And I need to look up that data form that we're supposed to record our reading group information for the personal goals for the kids. We got sent something, I guess, sometime. I need to look for that. And I got a very cool text features product from Teachers Pay Teachers that I just happened to see on Instagram this morning. Now, when I'm getting ready for school, I don't normally scroll through Instagram. So I feel like I was meant to find this. And I will share it when I look at it and when I find it because I don't remember off the top of my head who it was from and what it is, but I will share that for sure and I'll link it below. because like I said, I don't know. I'll try to put the name of it right here so that you can see it. It'll be linked below because like right now I have no clue because, you know, I'm done. I'm going to get ready for bed and I'm just going to go lounge in my pajamas until my husband comes home, which will be later tonight because, okay, we got our car back from the body shop and they fixed the dent, the big, that happened when the guy hit Caitlin by McDonald's. However, the door was not put on correctly and so it is going to bend or something. My husband said the door's not on right and eventually that paint is going to chip off where it meets the like the wheel well or something. And so he was going to realign it at his shop so that it wouldn't do that. I'm like, shouldn't the body shop people do that? Which he's like, yes, they should. However, we don't have time to take it back in there and have them fix it because it'll be in a waiting list again. I'm like, oh, yeah, true. And we cannot be without a car for very long. So he said it may take a while. I may be home kind of late. I'm like, okay. Well, I'm just reheating supper, so you just let me know when you're on your way and I'll start getting it ready. Poor guy to work all day long. He works through his lunch a lot of times like I do and then not be able to leave at 5:30 or whatever. He's probably going to be home like at 7:30 or 8 tonight, depending on how long it takes. So he's going to be so tired. And of course, he was not off yesterday. They don't close for anything. They were closed Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and that's it. Poor guy. He will enjoy his steak though. He told me that that steak that I made last night was better than he's had in restaurants. I'm like, haha, cool. And honestly, all I did was cook it in olive oil, salt and pepper. That's all I did to it. So, yay me. I guess I picked some good steaks. They were like Kansas City strip steaks, so those were really good. Kind of expensive. I'm not used to paying like $13 a pound for meat. That was like, oh. Like, I wanted to get at least one kind of special meal for him. And I think last night was a good time for that because he was still kind of smarting from the Chiefs' loss of their championship game. It was looking really bad at the beginning, and then it was looking really good, and then it went into overtime, and it was all over because of the coin toss. So he was very bummed that the Chiefs are not going to the Super Bowl. So I guess the steak was the consolation prize for not having his team go to the Super Bowl. All right, I'm going to say goodbye because I think I'm just rambling now, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. We're halfway through the week already. Yay. So I was kind of hoping we'd have like an ice day today because it was yucky out. But, you know, eventually we'll have our snow day sometime, probably. We usually have some kind of gnarly weather in January and February around here, so I'm still holding out hope that we'll at least get one snow day sometime. In Power Hour this week, we are working on triple digit subtraction with regrouping, which isn't a lot different than the double digit that the kids have already learned how to do, because the only reason they got in this group was because they could already do that. But I still have kids giving me blank looks, and I'm like, I don't know if it's the hundredths place that's throwing them because they have to regroup twice. I think they're getting lost in that. So, I don't know. That is our next chapter in Go Math, though. So next Monday, my class will be starting that as our regular math. So these kids will get it again. But, I don't know. Some of them are getting it just fine. They're like, oh, yeah. And then one kid in particular was just like, I don't get this. And I said, well, what's causing you trouble? We'll go back and look at it. Well, I don't understand knock on the door. Well, that's what, knock on the door, take 10 more. That's when you borrow from the neighbor, you regroup from the neighbor. I don't understand that. I said, well, it's just like we did in 2-digit subtraction. The only difference is sometimes you have to knock on another neighbor's door to regroup from the other side too. So you have to do it 2 times as you're going across. So let's do this one. So I did it step by step with her, and she's just like, I'm like, I don't know if she's just having an off day. So I went and talked to our teacher and I said, she's struggling a lot. And she goes, just send her to me tomorrow because that teacher is doing double digit subtraction with regrouping. So she's just going to keep her with her tomorrow and just reinforce the 2-digit subtraction with her, which I think will be good. And then we switch groups on Monday because we're giving pre-tests this week, gathering data and reforming groups for new groups next week. But we will still keep some of these same skill groups available for the kids that need more practice with it, because there's no point in moving them on if they didn't get something already, because it keeps building. Like we've gone from 2-digit to 3-digit, and we're going to go from 3-digit to money. If they don't understand 3-digit, money might be a little tricky in some places too. So that is our progression. I'm going to eat my breakfast when it gets done. I kind of got back here late. I was working on some stuff downstairs, talking to a few teachers about what we're supposed to be doing for certain things. We have a literacy consultant meeting on Tuesday that we're supposed to gather data for. So I was talking to my neighbor teacher about that. And we have this little form we're supposed to fill out to give to our curriculum instructor person by Friday, which I've already done. Yay. So I just need to print it out and bring it with me on Friday for our meeting. Apparently we're not going to have plan time on Friday. When the kids go to their special reward party and the other kids that didn't make the goal of good attendance, then they go to the other specials teachers that aren't doing the reward party. And so for those times that they're gone, I guess our grade level is going to be meeting with our curriculum person. So not having plan time on a Friday kind of bites because that's the day that you want to get stuff ready for the next week. So I guess I got to get myself together a little earlier so that it doesn't matter. So I'll probably make my newsletter tonight and make sure I've got all my ducks in a row. I have my lesson plans pretty much done for next week, but there are just a few little holes that I need to fill up. So it'll be okay. But and plus I don't know what I'm teaching for Power Hour at all. That's always a pain when you start a new group. You have no idea what you're doing, and then you have to scramble to get activities ready for the next group. So it'll work out though, because I know I have materials available. I just have to find the right things, but I got to know what I'm teaching first. So hopefully I'll know early enough that I can get some things together. I will show you my outfit. I am wearing an Old Navy top that I have not worn before and an Old Navy sweater that I have not worn before. These were from my little birthday shopping spree. These earrings and necklace came from Walmart a while back. This ring came from Walmart a while back. These bracelets probably are a mixture of Cato and Maurice's. I have some black boots that I had ordered from Target.com 2 years ago, or a year ago, sometime. I've got black leggings from Walmart and a little black undershirt. Yep, that's it. And a headband from Amazon. All right, I'll back up so you can see it all, and then I'm going to get back to work. I know from back there it's kind of hard to see everything, so I like to give you a closer up view. So here's my shirt, just polka dots, and it's a long sleeve. And then the sweater's just a cardigan. And then my plain old black leggings from Walmart and my boots. Yep. Here are the remnants of my Power Hour. We did the little cards around the room like this here. And I was only able to check the first 6, so I went over it with them. But that's okay. They didn't finish, but that's all right. We got a good chunk of it done. I have some notes I need to send home to kids. I still had kids that did not bring me their pencil pouches, despite my best efforts of reminding them. I even put a magnet on a pencil pouch on the board and said, bring this to me. And I still had kids that didn't bring it. So I can't do anything else. I am not going to their cubby and physically removing their pencil pouch and bringing it over here. That is their job. I saw on my emails and on Lucky Little Learners Facebook page that Angie Olson from Lucky Little Learners is having a 20% off sale. So probably didn't actually need anything, but since we're really getting pushed to incorporate more phonics into our teaching, which I like to do in small group because the phonics skills are all over the place in this classroom. Some need the basically start at the beginning from kindergarten, start with short vowels and work your way up. Some kids are all over that, but they need blends, digraphs, and long vowels. Some need vowel teams. Some need diphthongs. So it depends on the kid, what they get out of their reading and what they retain from their other phonics times. So I did purchase a phonics mat bundle or something, I think is what it's called, and I will show you that when I get it. Like, I purchased it, but I haven't looked at it really a lot. I need to download it and dive into it, but I'll be happy to link that for you. And I always try to link everything, but sometimes I just don't have time at the moment to link, so I'll go back and link them later for you. So if you don't see it, hold on just a little bit, maybe remind me if I didn't do it, because sometimes when I'm editing, I just didn't have time to look everything up right then, but I can put it in there later. Okay, I'm gonna get to work here. Of course, when the kids come back, we'll be doing iReady, and since it's Wednesday, we'll be doing math. We do math Monday, Wednesday, we do reading Tuesday, Thursday. And we'll be talking about Martin Luther King Jr. some more today and starting to work on the main idea of those texts that we read about him, and also starting to gather facts so we can do a little biographical report on him as a kickoff to our informational writing for this quarter. And we're going to be working on commas in a series, how to use them. And then I'm expecting that second grade will probably just go comma crazy and try to put commas in everything, which that's okay. I'll just be like, well, remember they're special. You can only use them sparingly. It's kind of like sprinkles. You don't want to over sprinkle your donut. There is such a thing as too many sprinkles on your donut, unfortunately. But, so maybe I'll use that analogy. You only need a few sprinkles to make this work. Okay, so that's where we are right now. I will try to film for you. I wish I could film my reading groups, but if you teach reading, which probably most of you do, it is really hard to film while you're teaching a reading group because you're all in there and it's very focused and it's very short because I can only meet with my groups for 15 or 20 minutes a time. So we're in there and we're doing it. So I can try to at least show maybe when the kids are doing their fluency words on those spinner games. I'll try to do that. I can show a little bit. Obviously I can't show their faces, but I could show them spinning and you could hear them reading their words. But that's why I don't show reading a lot, because it's really hard to film that because I'm really focused on teaching during those times. And when they're doing independent stuff in math is when I can show you what they're doing for that. So I can't show you my math teaching either because I'm up there teaching. So I do try to share as much as I can so that you can get a better sense of what the classroom is like. But I'm sure you understand that I can't show everything because it's just not possible. Alrighty, breakfast and work. Talk to you later. Commas are important so your sentence makes more sense. Okay, do you see number 3? Did you see the blooming flowers, big trees, and bright skies while you were at the park? Did you see the blooming flowers, big trees, and bright skies while you were at the park? Think it's missing a little something, something? Yeah. Mr. Good Citizen, would you come put the commas and the period in for us? All right, put in those separations. Blooming flowers. Big trees. Yep, and bright skies while you're at the park. Question mark. We don't have a thing for a question mark right now. Nice. Does this make more sense? Did you see the blooming flowers, big trees, and bright skies while you were at the park?
Oh, you can use it.
Does that make more sense? Yeah. Good afternoon. I'm actually vlogging after school. Crazy. So we have a staff meeting today. Always fun. And a lot of my second grade people are going to be not there. I think there are 4 of us gone today that had subs. Because one of the teachers that has a student teacher got pulled to take over for another teacher. So her student teacher was left by herself and she went and subbed for another class. Today was strange. We had a lot of technology problems. We had a lot of connection issues with our Wi-Fi. So I was having to run around and like reset the Wi-Fi, shut the iPad off, turn it back on. I mean, stuff I've told the kids they can do, but I think they're afraid to do it. And shutting off an iPad is hard. Have you ever pushed the power button on those things? They're hard to do, especially through the cases that we have. Like you can't accidentally shut it off, that's for sure. Right now, I am downloading, I think, twice, finally went, some Phonics mats that I got from Lucky Little Learners on her sale. And I'm hoping that this will help my kids that have some phonics deficits that I found when I did that phonics screener 2 weeks ago. So I sorted out all of the testing that I did with them and I put sticky notes on each one to mark which one they were having the most trouble with. And now I am seeing if I can find activities to go with their skills. So I'm going to have a digraphs group, a silent E group, an R-controlled vowels group, and kind of a random hodgepodge like blends, CVCC, and CCVV group. So a chunks group basically. So I'm trying to see what these are because I looked at it really briefly and I thought, oh yes, I think that's going to be awesome, and I need to know what we do. Oh, let me show you what it looks like. Here is an R-controlled vowel one. So it says read the passage 3 times, then color all the AR words in the passage. Then you fill in a circle each time you read it, which that's the same as those fluency passages that I have from Miss DeCarbo, where they have to read it 3 times. So that'll be familiar to them. Write the AR words from the passage in alphabetical order. That's awesome because we're supposed to do alphabetical order to the 2nd letter in 2nd grade. And then color the pictures that have R in the word. So they'll have to read the words and figure out if it has R or not. Cool. That's exciting. Then it shows to draw a picture of the story on the back of this paper. Awesome. So this really, except for the reading part, shouldn't take terribly long. It will take a little while though. So I think I'll probably, when I start with the group, I'll probably have them do this with me at the table, and then maybe they will be able to do this independently, and then I'll know they're ready to move on to a different phonics skill. So there are all kinds of ones in here. Okay, let me show you all of the things that come in here. So we have blends, digraphs, diphthongs, which I'll have a group for that too. My higher group could use that. Long vowels, R-controlled vowels, short vowels, silent letters, and the terms of use. So yay, these are going to be awesome. I think this is going to be great for all of my phonics needs. Plus I have things from 1st grade, of course, from like Reagan Tunstall, Kara Carroll, Babbling Abby, Doodlebug's Teaching. I have tons of stuff. So I should be able to draw from all of my resources and have everything I could ever need, right? I hope so. Alrighty. If I didn't have a meeting, I could leave right now, but I do have a meeting, so I can't leave right now. We're grouped together too, and I have to look and see what group I'm with. So I may just head on down there. I could print stuff while I'm sitting there in my group. I did not give my kids their prizes for having all of their pencils in their pencil pouches because we just ran out of time. But I did give kids their stickers for their Super Improver cards. And look at all the kiddos that need new cards. They went, I filled up my card and I still have stickers left. And I'm like, cool. Put your card and your stickers on top of it on my desk. And they're like, I filled up my card. I'm like, awesome. And they just stand there. I'm like, put it on my desk. Like we do that every time. Come on. Got 20 other billion people that went through here, but that's okay. So I've just been cutting off strips because I do it like every 3rd or 4th day anymore because that's about the time we have. But I think if I did it daily, it would be more more special for them probably. So I'm going to try to do it more often. I used to do it every day and it's hard. It's so hard to keep up with it. I have been putting random globs of stars in the star jar, just a handful at a time when they're being awesome. And I tell them, hey, you guys were awesome when you were doing this. That's what I love to see. That makes my heart so happy. And so I just put a whole handful of stars in for you. And they're like, we didn't see you. I'm like, that's because you were being really good workers. Like the other day when they were doing, well, yesterday, because we only had 2 days of school, they were doing iReady and they were so focused. I mean, I stepped outside the room and came back in and they were so focused. I walked over and I put a handful in. Nobody noticed. I put another handful in. Nobody noticed. I told them later, I said, oh, by the way, I put 2 handfuls of stars in the star jar. And they're like, you did? I didn't even notice. And even the student that was sitting there did not notice. I said, that's because you guys were concentrating on your work and you were working so hard at thinking. I was so proud of you. And then they also were really, really good in the hallway the other day. And so I gave them another glob of stars. When we are great as a class, I give them stars in their jar. And when they do individual things, that's when they're earning their stickers. So sometimes if I just see awesome behavior, I'll give them a sticker. But other times if they just don't get a mark on the blurt and off task chart, they get a sticker. So you can earn stars and stickers out the wazoo if you're being an awesome person. Yep. I'm so tired. I just want to go home. And I think for supper, we're going to have those honey battered chicken tenders and french fries because I just cannot can't talk either. I cannot imagine cooking something when I finally get home. This was one of those days that Caitlin couldn't come over by 1:30. But I said, you know what? I have a meeting after school. So I would hate for you to come and help me in my classroom and then have to sit and wait for me for like an hour and a half when you could be home. So she's just going to come back and get me. She went home after her class and she'll come back and get me. So that'll be good. And I think I'm going to go ahead and start heading over there because I need to pack up. And the poor reading teacher hurt herself right before one of our breaks, Christmas break. Yes, she hurt herself right before Christmas break and is borrowing my knee scooter. And she emailed me earlier and she goes, how do you get to meetings? Because it's downstairs. You have to go down like 2 flights of stairs to get to it. It's in the dungeon. It's in the old part of the building. And I said, oh, well, there's a door you can go through. It's all on one level. If you go down past the music room and the art room, there's a door down there that leads outside, and then right across is that door that goes into that section of the building. And she's like, oh, do I need a key? And I'm like, well, you'll need a key to get back in our part of the building, but to get in there, you just need someone to prop the door open for you because there is no key for us. So I'm going to go do that. I've already changed the calendars around the room. I've made sure the iPads are plugged in. I gave my good citizen that job. It is his job forevermore, unless he's gone. So he's going to take care of that from now on because I can trust him. I had him last year. He's a very responsible guy. So I said, hey, would you like to just do that all the time? Like, that's your job? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, so weak, because then I don't have to do it. Yes. And I don't have to forget about it. Well, mostly I don't have to remember about it. When I get this little dude put together, I'll be showing you what it is. It is a Reagan Tunstall flip book thing that she has lots of things like that. I have a penguin thing like that. And I think that's what Jeremy Michelbook is doing with his blue penguins. I think it's a Reagan Tunstall interactive book thing. Normally you do like a 12 by 18. I shrunk everything to 75% and I'm just using an 11 by 7 paper. Yeah, just the long construction paper, not the super huge, not the 12 by 18, but not the normal size either, the 9 by 12. This is the 11 by 17. And I just think this is going to be the right dimensions for it. And I printed out all the pieces I want to use. So I'm going to cut it all apart and try to assemble it the next few days because I want to do this next week when we're doing snow things. I'm going to take that home and work on it. Probably. There's piles everywhere. I've been tidying up a little as I go, but then it seems like the pile grows and then I have another pile to clean. They're proliferating like bunnies. I think my battery will hold off. I don't think I need to take my charging cord. It's at 88%. So I'm going to pack up and go to my meeting. And then I'm going to wait for Caitlin to pick me up and go home and probably collapse. Because, dude, it's only Wednesday and I'm so tired already. That's not good. All right. I hope you've had a great day and I will catch you later.